Everyone sees the tip of the spear when it flashes across a headline. Raids, rescues, the fast rope footage that gets replayed like a highlight reel. What most people never see is the forge that shapes that spear. The quiet corridor where careers are made or sent back to the fleet. That corridor has a name inside: DEVGRU, and it carries a reputation that makes seasoned SEALs sit up straighter. Green Team, the unit that selects, pressure tests, and tunes the operators who will wear the patch, and the same unit that tells plenty of talented men, with respect, not yet. Start with the basics, because the basics are heavy. Green Team exists to assess, select, and sharpen. It screens SEALs for DEVGRU, puts advanced skills into muscle memory for those already on the inside, and trials new tactics and procedures before they ever see a target building. The instructors are not anonymous gatekeepers. They are experienced operators who have been through the course, paid their dues on deployment, and now carry the responsibility of shaping the next class. Their mandate is simple to write and brutal to meet. Keep the standard where it is, no lower. You do not raise your hand on Monday and walk into Green Team on Tuesday. There is a process just to reach the starting line. Some candidates are tapped on the shoulder. Others submit a special request through their chain, a formal step that tells the command you want to be screened. When many of today's instructors went through, at least 2 deployments were expected before you were even considered. That prerequisite matters. The cadre want to evaluate a SEAL who has seen a real target package, worked a real stack, and carried real weight on a long night. Paper resumes are not enough. They need a track record that lives in the memories of teammates, not only in the entries of a logbook. The front door opens with a physical screen that will feel familiar to anyone who remembers BUD/S. Only the minimums climb, but the real scrutiny begins once the heart rate drops and the chair slides back from the table. The interviews and psychological assessments cut deeper than a fitness chart ever could. They pull your ESR and ask you to speak to every ribbon like it is a chapter title. They ask about your money, your family, how you treat stress, why you chose the teams, why you are asking to join DEVGRU, how you behaved on deployment, whether you take responsibility when things go sideways, whether your teammates would trust you to make a call under pressure. It is invasive for a reason. A squadron is not only a collection of skills, it is a culture that cannot risk a fracture from the inside. Pass that gate and the real work starts. Green Team typically runs half a year or longer, and the clock does not tick in your favor. The attrition rate hovers around half. And that is not because candidates fold under a bell. These are SEALs who have already proven they do not quit. The washouts come from performance and safety, the 2 things that are non-negotiable inside a unit that operates at speed around explosives, angles, and narrow margins. Instructors expect you to learn quickly, retain under fatigue, improve every day, and execute without wandering outside the lines that keep teammates alive. One mistake can be corrected. A pattern of carelessness cannot. The curriculum reflects the work. Close quarters battle is the backbone, and it gets the hours you would expect, but the package is bigger. Advanced combatives, so your hands can solve problems when a round cannot. Mechanical and ballistic breaching, so doors are a solved problem rather than a surprise. Offensive and defensive driving, so a steering wheel becomes another tool, not a liability. Demolitions to a higher standard, because control is everything when you are measured in meters and seconds. The instructors do not haze, they do not posture. They teach like professionals and expect you to perform like one from day one. This is not Bud S. The tone is different, the stakes are higher, and the goal is to build operators who can be handed a mission set tomorrow morning. Culture makes or breaks a place like this. Ask anyone who has worn the patch and they will talk about professionalism first. The jokes still fly in the team room. That part never dies. But the work tempo sets a different rhythm. You are treated like a peer the moment you earn it, and you are expected to carry yourself like one at all times. The phrase "work hard, play hard" has been overused for decades. Yet inside DEVGRU, it still fits because the work is relentless and the trust is personal. Families know families. Squadrons feel like neighborhoods. That matters when the same people who selected you are the ones you will ride with at 3 in the morning. Reputation is the shadow that walks into every room with you. The community is small. DEVGRU is smaller. Someone in that building has seen you under stress, or taught your class, or watched you on a range when you thought nobody was looking. If you acted like a teammate, that follows you. If you acted like a problem, that follows you too. Nobody gets rejected over the shape of a helmet, but personality and professionalism are not side notes. They are selection criteria. The advice is simple and permanent. Keep your ego in check. Treat the people around you with respect. Let your work speak clearly. Survive the course, and another ritual begins. Squadrons pick, one by one, filling needs and shaping balance like a draft. No unit is the shiny toy, and no unit is the punishment. Each carries its own pace, history, and internal chemistry. When your name is called, you receive the patch at a celebration that sticks in the memory, and you step across a line you have spent months, sometimes years, trying to reach. Yard Inn has its own traditions and stories, but the meaning is universal. You are in. Now, the work really starts. Not everyone sees that moment on their first run. Candidates who do not clear the bar return to their teams, usually without a stigma. Failure to meet a standard in this context does not equal failure as a SEAL. Often it means fit and timing, the two variables that never show up on a scoreboard. Some will reapply, some will move on. The community takes note either way. If you want the hard numbers that put this funnel in perspective, here is one version that has done the rounds on team room walls. Start with roughly 1 million in uniform across the US military. A few 100,000 wear navy blue. A fraction of that ever sees a Bud S class roster. A slice of those graduates. A smaller slice gets a shot at green team. Then the math cuts in half. And in half again. By the time a single operator is shaping outcomes inside a squadron, you are looking at a path so narrow that it almost feels theoretical. It is not meant to worship a number. It is meant to remind the person reading it that selection at this level is not about miracles. It is about relentless standards applied without apology. There is a reason that last point matters. In BUD/S, survival is often enough. Show up, take the hits, refuse to ring out, and you are on your way. At Green Team, survival is assumed. The bar now is consistent excellence under scrutiny, higher scores on the physical screen, a review board that studies your answers and how you deliver them. 8 months where each day is another tape to review. Instructors who will give you room to correct a mistake once, and then will hold the line when patterns appear. There are no performance rollbacks. There are no medical timeouts to return next season. If you are seated in that classroom, the command already believes you might belong. From there, it is only performance. If all of this sounds unforgiving, it is. It should be. The unit exists to take on problems that punish hesitation and reward discipline. The payoff, ask anyone who earned it, is enormous. The camaraderie can feel unreal because everyone in the room bled for the same standard and was chosen by the same peers. The perks are real, the gear is good, the missions matter. But none of that arrives without the work. What does this tell us about Green Team and the larger story of DEVGRU, beyond the acronyms and the myths that swirl around them on the internet? It says the pipeline is built to protect the culture, not decorate it. It says performance beats narrative. It says the unit cares as much about the person as the skill set. Because character is the thread that keeps the fabric from tearing when it is pulled tight. And it says something about the people who seek it. They are not superheroes. They do not live above the laws of gravity. They are professionals who chose a craft, then chose to master it, then chose to be measured by the hardest yardsticks available. That last idea scales, and maybe that is the point. Put aside the trident for a second. Think about the jobs that shape a society. The surgeon who spends a decade learning to keep a hand steady. The trial lawyer who lives inside case law and late nights. The patrol officer who runs toward what everyone else runs from. Different uniforms, different tools, same rhythm. Pick your lane, respect the standard, do the work. Green Team is a hard lane with a harder standard. If you make it, you were there because the people you admire most decided you belong next to them. If you do not, you keep doing the job you were already trusted to do, and that is no small thing. Either way, the lesson holds. Mastery is a choice, not a label. Reputation is earned in rooms with no cameras, and every repetition counts. Make every shot count.